Welcome to the Hemlock State Explorer. Today we are in the picturesque Clarks Valley of Dauphin County, Pennsylvania, and we'll be showing you how to get to the abandoned ruins of the Yellow Springs Tower and also visit a local landmark known as the General, and you'll see what that is when we get there. Our excursion will also take us into Lebanon County in the area of place near and dear to our hearts, the Stony Valley. Right now we're in Clarks Valley, and you can hear in the distance the flowing Clarks Creek, a really top-notch trout fishing stream. Clarks Valley is such a beautiful place. I would actually highly recommend you visit in the fall, because the long, narrow valley and the striated mountains and valleys region of Pennsylvania is overhung with trees that just look amazing in the autumn color. We're really glad you're with us today. Stick around, because we are in for some high adventure and abandoned ruins. The first important piece of information to know before you go, that just a minute's walk from Route 325, Clarks Valley Road, the trail begins with a wet crossing across Clarks Creek. You can see the stones stacked in the stream there, and maybe during drier weather this could be a dry crossing, but after several straight days of rain the creek is quite high, and this is indeed a wet crossing. But just a few yards upstream that way, you can't really see it on account of the bushes, but there is a fallen log across the creek that affords a dry crossing if you have good balance. But if you don't have good balance, or you just don't mind wet feet at the beginning of the hike, here's a wet crossing. From Clarks Creek, we will take the trail south, up and over Stony Mountain. So far the trail has been beautiful, with rhododendron just on the cusp of blooming underneath a stand of hemlock with taller deciduous trees such as black cherry above. And the trail has been fairly rocky and mossy, but still fun. Easy going once you get on this pink blaze trail that we'll mark at hemlockstateexplorer.com. I just wanted to share this with you. Here's a small boulder field. There's many of these in the state, but they're very cool to see whenever you find them. This area is called Stony Valley for a reason. There's actually a much larger boulder field at the top of the mountain called the Devil's Race Course. It looks similar to this on a much larger scale. We won't make it there today, but that'll be the subject of a future adventure in this seemingly limitless Stony Valley / Clarks Valley region, the striated mountains and valleys a little bit east of Harrisburg. So much to see here, so much to do. And in fact, we just did a few months ago an episode on Boxcar Rocks, really a place of distinction, nothing quite like it. A truly unique adventure worth your visit, and you can check that out, of course, at hemlockstateexplorer.com. But here you get a taste of the character of the trail: leafy, rocky, mossy, and some points the trail is a bit more open than what we just passed through, which were some glorious rhododendron tunnels. One of the things I love about being out in the wilderness, and there are many, is the time to think and reflect, and all kinds of ideas go through your mind. Well, here's a great idea I just had. I should do a series called Things I Find on My Pants. And if I ever get around to that great idea, this would be an episode. Look at this spiky, wicked-looking creature with his, big brown or big black spines and the orange and white markings on it, and that, that scary-looking face. Well, this creature, oh, here it's moving, is in fact the ladybug larva. We think of the ladybug as this wonderful, beneficial garden creature, that innocuous, even beneficial ladybug, boon to any gardener, actually comes from this creature. And this creature is actually very beneficial, even better than the ladybug in its adult form, because this is a voracious aphid predator. So this is loved by gardeners. Even if you never knew what this was before, now you can know it and love it as that great helper of the garden, the ladybug larva. We followed the Pink Blaze Trail for about half a mile, skirting the base of Stony Mountain, and then we turned uphill on the Red Trail. You can see how appropriately named the mountain is, and as is indicated by that red blaze on the tree, this is the trail right here. So just to make you aware, the trail does get extremely rocky, and we'll be ascending the mountain, so it will be rocky for quite a ways yet, so just come prepared. This would be rated as a difficult trail. I mean, it's certainly doable, but you will be going uphill over lots of rocks, so just take your time and be careful. And if you like a bit of challenge in your hiking, well, this would be a great trail for you. We are at Yellow Springs, the site of an old abandoned coal mining village, one of several in the Stony Valley region, and here you can see what looks like a foundation of a structure. There's a large campsite back here. We'll go check that out. The sound you hear above Yeah, we've been hearing that for about the last half an hour. That's one of the bonuses of hiking in the Stony Valley area, is the proximity to Fort Indiantown Gap. We've had multiple flybys of some military aircraft, very loud, very cool to see. I keep trying to find clearings. We've actually seen through the trees some views of the aircraft, and they are extremely cool. Unfortunately, because they're so fast and because of the foliage, we couldn't get a view of any, but we'll be on the lookout for that as well. So if you hear any roaring of engines or even a burp of machine gun fire, that's what it is. We've intersected with the Appalachian Trail, and we'll take that west briefly until we reach a connector trail, which will head down the southern side of the mountain, and that's where we hope to encounter the Yellow Springs Tower, and then we'll hook up with the Stony Valley Rail Trail that will head east. As you can see, the Appalachian Trail in this section is much easier going than that boulder scramble up the side of the mountain, but fortunately that didn't last too long. If you like a challenge, that would be the section for you. And then it met up with a trail that was more of a switchback going up the side of the mountain at an angle, so it was much less steep, and then that led us to the top of the mountain, and then shortly after the very ridge of the mountain, we encountered the Appalachian Trail at the abandoned ruins of Yellow Springs. So that's good news. It means we are on track for finding the Yellow Springs Tower. From the Appalachian Trail, we're following a path. It's not blazed at all, but this area has clearly been mined. There's coal all over the ground. The side of that hill has been removed, so we are on track, and there are ruins everywhere if you know where to look. In fact, I see a stone foundation over here. Let's go check that out. Is that a mine down there? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, there's a pit mine right there, and then the foundation of some structure. You see those stacked stones? Wow, this place is full of history. Here is a better view of that pit mine where we can see all the way to the bottom. And coal all over the place. just across a deep stream bed from the pit mine, and the ruins we saw previously is this other set of ruins. Again, I'm not sure what this would have been. As I understand it, the coal from this region was not particularly high quality and was never economically viable, so the mining operations didn't last too long. But there were railroads that ran through here, hence the Stony Valley Rail Trail, which we are headed to next. From the Appalachian Trail, we crossed a deep stream bed, and then when we encountered this Blue Blaze Trail, we turned right, that is north, up the mountain, and encountered this interesting trail. It's a mossy causeway built up on both sides by a stone embankment, and this will lead us up the mountain to the Yellow Springs Tower. We are about there to the Yellow Springs Stone Tower. It was tricky getting here. It's been over 5 years since I've been here, and the key is to take the red trail from the top of the mountain, go slightly downhill where the red trail and the blue trail travel together for a little bit, and then veer off onto the red trail to the right. And through the foliage it was hard to see, but here it is. It has fallen significantly since I was here last, and I hear from others who visit this place it seems every year to get a bit smaller, so be sure to check this out while it still stands. No one today is certain of what this tower was used for. Some suggest that it was for ventilation, either of a mine or equipment. Others say it may have been an observation tower, and yet others say it was associated with the original incline plane that ran just south of this location. But right now there is a mine between the tower and the incline plane, so if that was the case, it would have ceased sometime before that mine was constructed. There is another incline plane just to the west of the town of Yellow Springs, and you can visit that by following the Blue Trail. We actually got a little turned around and inadvertently started traveling up the Blue Trail, the incline plane, thinking that the ruins of the latest incline plane led to the Yellow Springs Tower, but that is not the case. So be sure to check out hemlockstateexplorer.com before embarking on your adventure to Yellow Springs, where we'll have maps and coordinates posted so you can find exactly what you're looking for in the exact location, whether it's the tower or the town of Yellow Springs or the incline plane and the trailheads and everything else that you need to know before you go. We are standing at the intersection of the red trail, which we took up the mountain, and the blue trail, which leads down to the town of Yellow Springs. And if you're really looking for it, you can see the tower from the trail. There it is, but you really do have to be looking for it. The best time, of course, to visit would be when we don't have foliage on the trees, and you'll get much better views of the tower. We encountered this stream with a very orange-colored bed. I believe it's called something to the effect of Iron Spring or Iron Run. Still polluted, very much so, even to this day from the mining activities. And we're following a path. It would be far too generous to call it a trail, from the abandoned town of Yellow Springs down the mountain to Stony Valley. It looks to be more of an old grade that maybe led down from the railroad up to the town, but this is actually pretty good compared to what it was just a little uphill. It looks like it's getting a bit more rough down into that brush, so when you visit, be sure to keep your eyes open and stay on the trail. This has been easy to get off of trail, but right now it doesn't look so bad, and we'll help you out by sharing the map with you at hemlockstateexplorer.com. Here's something of a small waterfall, maybe better classified as a cascade, on the stream as we journey from Yellow Springs to Stony Valley. We have made it to Stony Valley and the rail trail. This must have been a mill or something at one time. You see the stonework. And here's the rail trail before you. That Yellow Springs trail was definitely a difficult trail. Without a doubt in my mind, that's difficult. Really only should be taken by experienced hikers. The trail was exceedingly easy to lose. There were intermittent blue blazes. Oh, here's some more stonework with the stream flowing down underneath this bridge. But at any rate, the Yellow Springs Trail had intermittent blue blazes, but really could have used a lot more. In some sections, it was little more than a rock scramble with no discernible trail. In other sections, you were clearly walking on something of a causeway. Maybe it is the ruins of the inclined plane that ran up and down both sides of the mountain. But in any case, I would recommend only doing that if you're an experienced hiker and only in dry weather, as the rocks were treacherous enough when they were dry. How much more so when wet? We'll follow the Stony Valley Rail Trail east for a little over 2 miles until we encounter the former resort of Cold Springs. Then we'll head back up the mountain and visit the General. To learn what the General is, stay tuned because we have a lot more adventure. Do you know what these are? There are a number of them along the Stony Valley Rail Trail, and they always occur in pairs. If you know what they are, post it in the comments, or stay to the end of the video and we'll reveal what those strange items are. The Cold Springs Trail proved to be much more pleasant up the mountain than the Yellow Springs Trail was down. Now we're at a crossing of a clear and dark stream on our way to the General. But I wanted to show you this because if you try to cross right at the trail, it is definitely a wet crossing. But if you visit hemlockstateexplorer.com and look at the map, we've marked this waypoint, which is a dry crossing, and it's just a little bit of a detour back to the main trail. As a point of reference, here's the wet crossing. If you don't take that little side trail up to the dry crossing, just out of view up there. About 4 frogs jumped in when we walked here, and this is nice looking water. But just wanted to show you this, that it does pay to visit the website and check out the map. So if for no other reason, you can have a little bit more of an enjoyable adventure with some dry feet. And here it is, something of a local landmark, the General. The General is from the mining days of the Stony Valley region and has sat rusting here for decades. If you look online, it's often referred to as a steam shovel, but as is indicated by this engine, it was rather a gasoline-powered shovel. And it's called the General because of this back here. That was the name of the company that manufactured the shovel. And it's a really cool find. You can see the gears and the wheels inside. And even if we come around here, you can see the levers and pedals used to control the shovel. So what is the General doing here? Some say that it might have broken down, and others say that after mining operations ceased, when it was no longer needed, it simply wasn't worth the cost to remove the General from this valley between the two mountains, and here the General stays. Here we are among the blooming mountain laurel back in Clarks Valley, and we successfully discovered the ruins of the abandoned coal town of Yellow Springs, and even found the General. And this is an area full of history, and you can learn more about the history of Yellow Springs at our website, as well as finding all of our other adventures at hemlockstateexplorer.com. A few things to know before you go is that the trail is rocky in many places and steep in some. And as one would expect, the north side of the mountain tends to dry out slower than the south side, so as though the rocks on the south side may be perfectly dry, they still may be slick on the north side. And what were those strange concrete items we found along the rail trail? If you said that they were spare rail holders, you are right. They were positioned periodically along the Schuylkill and Susquehanna Railroad, which began operation in 1854. Because rails had to be specially made at rolling mills, and because of the remoteness of this railroad, it could take considerable time to get replacement rails, so they were kept at the ready along the railroad. Thanks for joining us on another successful exploration, and until next time, we can't wait to see you on the next adventure. Thanks for joining us on another successful exploration, and until next time, we can't wait to see you on the next adventure.